Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Tony with Quick Tech Solutions, and today I want to show you how I set up. I'm going to take you behind the scenes on how I set up a WireGuard site-to-site VPN between a GCC 6020 and an EdgeRouter X SFP. I'm running the GCC 6020 here in my house, and my sister is running an EdgeRouter X SFP over at her location, which is about 10 miles away. So let's get right to it. All right, let's take a closer look at the diagram. This is what we're going to set up here today. You can see the GCC 6020 has a LAN side address of 192.168.25.0/24, and the EdgeRouter X SFP has a LAN side address of 192.168.100.0/24. By the time we're done with this setup, both subnetworks will be able to talk to each other over the VPN network. The VPN network will be running on 192.168.124.x network. Now, this was automatically set by the GCC 6020 when I enabled the actual WireGuard instance. Okay, so in addition to the information that I showed you in that diagram, we're going to need three more pieces of information to complete the setup. We're going to need the WireGuard port, which is 51820 by default. We're going to need each router's public key, which is generated when you create the instance on each router. And then we're also going to need each router's public IP address. You could use a static IP address. If you don't have a static IP address, you can go ahead and use a DDNS address. Okay, so since I configured the GCC 6020 first, let's start here. I'm on the network tab. Let's come over to the left menu. Let's select VPN and then WireGuard. If this is the first time you're setting up a WireGuard VPN, then you shouldn't have anything here in the list. If that's the case, then you just click on the Add button to add a VPN instance. And then here you can see the fields that are required to be filled out. So let me show you the back end of mine, how it's configured. Let's go into the Edit button. First thing you need to do is give it a name, and I called it WireGuard. Make sure you enable it because by default, when you first turn it on, it's disabled. And then the next thing you need to do is pick your WAN interface. So this is my WAN interface here. I named it Focus Broadband. The monitoring port, which is the WireGuard port, is 51820, as I mentioned earlier. And then the local IP address assigned by this particular instance for this device, for the WireGuard tunnel, is 192.168.124.1. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. And I just left the forwarding destination group set to all. You do have a private key and a public key, and we're going to need this public key later when we configure the peer on the edge router. So that's why you have the little copy button here. So you're probably saying to yourself, I can't believe Tony is showing the public and, more importantly, the private keys to this site-to-site VPN setup. But not to worry, by the time this video hits YouTube, this VPN setup will have been deleted. Okay, once you have the instance set up under WireGuard, the next thing you need to do is come over to the Peers tab and click and create a peer for the remote router, which is my sister's house. Again, if this is the first time you're doing this, this should be blank, so you'll go ahead and you'll click the Add button, and you'll be presented with this screen here. Let's go ahead and take a look at how I completed that screen when I created the peer. So I did give it a name. I called it Janet's house. I did enable it. And then we have to pick a WireGuard instance. So I'm picking the WireGuard instance that I set up. Here's the public key. And this public key is the public key that is generated by the EdgeRouter X SFP. And then I'll show you where that's located in a minute. And then the local allowed IP address is the actual LAN side of the edge router. So if you remember back to the diagram, it's 192.168.100.0/24. And then we need to put in the public IP address. That is what the endpoint address means. So we need to put in the public IP address of the EdgeRouter X SFP here. And if you don't have a static IP, you can put in a domain name such as a DDNS name. The endpoint port or the WireGuard port is 51820, and then you could just leave the persistent keep alive set to 25. Make sure you go ahead and you save that. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the back end of the EdgeRouter X SFP located over at my sister's house. I'll be connecting to it for this video through the actual WireGuard VPN, but prior to getting the VPN set up, I was able to connect to it remotely because it's running version 3.0.0 of the firmware. I was able to remotely access the user interface through my UISP server. That said, let's take a look now at the EdgeRouter backend. So if we come over to the left side, just make sure you're clicked on VPN and then on WireGuard. Make sure you enable it on the EdgeRouter. You can see that the server port is 51820. They have to match on both ends. This was enabled by default, so we're going to leave that. And you can see the IP address here is 192.168.124.3/24. This is the actual tunnel address assigned to the EdgeRouter. My side was 124.1. This is 124.3. Now there's a reason why I did not make this 124.2, and that's because that's the client config for my iPhone is using up 124.2, so I made the EdgeRouter 124.3. Now back to the computer. Here is the private key and here is the public key. Now this is the public key that I entered over in the GCC 6020 in the actual peer setup of my sister's router. You can see R+4+, and if I go back, R+4+. So the public key generated by the EdgeRouter gets entered into the peer setup of the GCC 6010. Now, going on down, we have to add the peer information. So I called it Anthony's home. We have to enter the remote endpoint information, which is the public IP address of my GCC 6020 here at my location. It needs to be entered in this format, the IP address, followed by the WireGuard port number. And then we're going to take the public key that was generated from the 6020 under the WireGuard tab here. This public key here, 1QSU, copy it, and then we're going to go ahead and put it in here, 1QSU. So again, the public key from the actual WireGuard instance on the GCC 6020, not from the peer, but from the WireGuard instance itself, gets copied and placed into the peer section where it's asking for the public key. Now I know sometimes that could be confusing, that's why I'm emphasizing this. I left the pre-shared key blank, and then the final thing we have to do is the allowed IP addresses. And again, we have to put in the actual LAN side of the GCC 6010 here so that both routers can talk to each other over the VPN tunnel. Okay, so the final step in the configuration process is to add a firewall rule on the EdgeRouter side of things in the WAN local rule set that allows the WireGuard traffic to pass on port number 51820. Let me show you that rule now. So here we are in the EdgeRouter. I'm on the firewall menu under the firewall tab, and you can see the rule sets here. Under WAN local, you can see I have 3 rules. If I click on actions and go to rule set, you'll see that rule number 2 says allow WireGuard, and this is a rule that I created. So if we come over to actions and go to basics, you can see that I gave it a name. You can call this whatever you like. Make sure you enable the rule. The action must be set to accept, and the protocol selected should be UDP. Then if you come over to the destination tab in the port field, you're going to put the port number 51820, and then you're going to click on save. When the rule is first created, it's in the 3rd slot. It's at the bottom below the drop invalid state rule. As soon as you save the rule, even in the 3rd slot, the traffic does begin to flow. However, I like to move the rule up above the drop invalid state and then click on save the rule order. Okay, so finally what I'd like to do is just show you that the VPN is up and running and is working. We'll do a couple of ping tests. I'll even access the user interface of the EdgeRouter over at my sister's location, even though I was connected to it throughout this whole demonstration. But let's start with a ping test. So the actual address of the EdgeRouter is 192.168.100.1. So let's start with that. and we're getting a successful response. Okay, next, let's go ahead and ping the access point that's over in her house. It happens to be a Ubiquiti access point, and I happen to know that the address is 192.168.100.39. So let's go ahead and we'll change that to 100.39, and I should be able to hit the access point. And again, we are getting a successful ping. And one more time, let's go ahead and hit the switch. I have a switch 8 light in that house, and that address is 100.40. So we'll go ahead, we'll bring up the ping again. We'll change it to .40. And again, I'm getting a successful ping, and this is happening over the VPN. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to SSH into the access point, and then we'll run a ping command from the access point back to this network here on the 192.168.25 network. So let me SSH. Okay, so SSH admin at 192.168.100.39. And do I want to create the fingerprint? Yes. And now I need to put in the password of the access point. And you can see I'm now signed into the Ubiquiti access point. Okay, actually, the USW Lite PoE8. Okay, so I have them backwards. So this is the actual switch. All right, so let's go ahead and now send a ping from the switch over at the other network to my DS216 plus 2 Synology NAS. So ping 192.168.25.218. And there you have, we have a successful ping coming from my sister's network through the switch into this network here. Okay, now, just to show you, let's bring up a browser, and I'm just going to type in the address of the edge router. And you can see it brings me to the login page. So there you go, everyone. That's a look at a WireGuard site-to-site VPN setup between an EdgeRouter X SFP and a Grandstream GCC 6020. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you can apply it in your own situation if necessary. I'd like to know what you think down in the comments below, so please leave a comment after the video is over. I appreciate it, and please like, share, and that's it for now. Take care.